One moment when we were doing Sill, which actually went like a dream. I'm very proud of the schedule on that. I've had professional cameramen saying, how did you get 4 episodes done in a week? Yeah, it's staggering what we got through. But that was, again, the team we had. The team were absolutely fantastic. Some of them are here. There was one point when somebody was having problems and you arrived, and I said, I don't quite know what to do. And you said, no, I'll help you. And Sophie often, just helps, which is what you always do. Yeah, and that's why I like working with her. She's terrific. And Sil was, I remember I could jump forward to Sil and say basically, Sil was, I always knew you wanted to do prosthetics. And when the script came in, I saw Madam Null, Mistress Null, and I thought, oh yes. It was a slight cameo, but I thought Sophie would love this.
I remember Keith called me and said, look, I know it's a really small part, but I think you'd like it. I thought, yeah, great, not many lines to learn, brilliant, prosthetics, And I mean, I love working for Keith anyway, because it's sort of like, I don't know, it's professional, but it's also like there's a lot of room for improvisation, and we kind of know the way each other works, and with Nabil, I wanted to work with him. And is Phil here? I saw him earlier. Where are you, Phil?
He's still here, Ray. I don't know where. Two of the guys who did all the costume and the, again, if you don't have a team that are there with you and there for you, you can forget it.
Well, Phil came round to my house. Do you remember Phil? Where are you? Hey, there you are.
Shout it out, man, shout it out.
And Phil came round to do the face cast, the head cast, and we got some photos, haven't we, of me in my kitchen with just this all over me. And it was great fun. It was really good fun. And you can't breathe very well, but that's all right. But I mean, he did a brilliant job, and then the makeup artist. Just fantastic.
Great team. Everybody was
really good team, and other Phil Newman on costumes. I mean, brilliant.
And set design.
And set. I mean, it's not often that you do set and costumes.
That comes from his work with the Colour House Theatre, because he does everything at a small theatre in South London, and he is incredibly talented. So, how many of you, have seen Sil? Now that surprises me. I would have expected more of you to actually seen it. I recommend you go and buy it.
It's at the back.
It's at the back. But when we talked about it, one of the things that Phil and I wanted to do was to not make a production that was totally harking back to 80s, 90s Doctor Who, because that to me is pointless. But at the same time, we wanted to homage it. So he worked very hard on creating a set that gave us a look of a multi-camera studio of that period, but had a slight. And what we did in the end is we shot it to a degree in the round, i.e. every angle that you could shoot in the studio, you could shoot, because it was actually a room. So normally with a set, all of you know, 2 to 3 walls, and then the rest is open, and you have the cameras looking in. But what we did with that was we had the whole room as a set, and he panelled this tiny studio right round for me, so that when
it wasn't much bigger than this room, really.
No, it was smaller than this room. It was incredible what we managed. And what that allowed me to do while we were filming was keep moving, because being a courtroom drama, your actors can't move around much, because by definition you're in a courtroom situation. So what I wanted to do was keep moving the camera physically, not moving it during the shots, because that is terribly time consuming, but do lots of angles. And we'd run through whole pieces at one angle and wrap through each section, and when you cut it together, it really gave a bigger pace to it than we actually had while we were shooting. And Phil's design gave us angles with the camera, which is what you want from a good designer. Angles everywhere.
Yeah,
so how was it actually being in prosthetics?